Hello world, my name is Ihor and today I would like to jam on this setup and mainly celebrate the launch of the new platform, the Legio. This is the new platform from Noise Engineering in a small footprint of just 6 HP. The idea is quite similar to the Versio platform, swappable firmware with ease. Within just 1 minute you can change the firmware on the Legio or on the Versio and have a completely different module. I think that's an amazing approach to have in your modular that adds you so much flexibility and so much different choice without investing money, because swapping the firmware is free. And right now, at the moment of recording this video, the Legio platform has 2 different firmwares to choose from, and the third one is coming quite soon, and the Versio platform has 7 different firmwares to choose from, and the 8th one is coming soon too. And a quick disclaimer that this video is not sponsored by Noise Engineering, even though it appears like it is. I genuinely respect and love this company and the people who work there. I think you guys are doing an amazing job with making all kinds of complicated design decisions while making these modules. I really like the modules and I have quite a lot of them. And I'm also a big supporter of the platforms such as Versio or now Legio. I would like to shout out to Noise Engineering. Congrats on the launch of the new platform and keep the firmwares coming. Let me cover the setup real quick and we're gonna start patching. So first of all, I got the Vert Ether Legio. This is a stereo oscillator. We are not going to use it to full extent today, just a little bit and in mono. So I'm not gonna open up all the potential, but here we go. Then we have the filter after the oscillator. Then we have Ruina Versio, which is flashed into the Lacrima Versio. I have a print over here. This is a filter as well, with an envelope follower, and I think that's cool. Then there is this Versio, which is an Electus Versio. This one is a clocked Desmodus Versio. And then at the end of the chain, we have Libre Versio, which is a stereo dynamic processor, which is super cool to have it in 6 HP. And to sequence everything, I have a Steppy over here with numeric repetitor that is going to generate the gates. Then we have envelopes from Ponce Sinorum and Pura Ruina with 4 different VCAs with distortions in them. And hopefully we're gonna get some interesting sound going. Of course, we received the MIDI clock from the Digitakt over the, from the Syntakt over the MIDI cable. And the audio goes into the Syntakt where it gets into the external mixer, and then we're gonna also route it into the analog effects block. And here on the Syntakt, I also have some sort of like a drum groove prepared with a bass line. Basically everything is ready, and also I set the effects track to have docking and filter, but as of now it's just muted and we're gonna hear the pure sound of the modular at the beginning. Nice, so let's get started with the patch actually. And I'm not gonna put headphones yet because we're not gonna have sound for a few minutes and it's a bit too hot here as of now. So I'm gonna start with numeric repetitor and patch all 4 outputs into the envelopes of Ponce Sinorum. So basically, numeric repetitor is going to be our kind of main sequencer. It generates gates depending on the clock that you send there and depending on how you put these knobs. It generates different rhythms on 4 different outputs. And we patch them into 4 different envelopes, and 4 different envelopes go into the Pura Ruina, which is a distortion module with VCAs in it. Basically 4 of them, of course. It's exactly the same as I did in my another video a couple of months ago, basically with this trio. And then output of this Pura Ruina is gonna go into the filter, MOM M8, from the filter into the Lacrima Versio, and then from Lacrima, now we are in stereo, going into the Electus, and from Electus into the Libre Legio, not Versio. So there is that, and also we need to patch an output from the Vert Ether Legio into the input of Pura Ruina. Yeah, we used quite a lot of these small black cables over here. These actually are all that I have. Hopefully that's gonna be enough to end the patch. And now I'm gonna grab a bit longer cables and patch output A from Steppy into the beat, which is clock on the pneumatic, output B into the measure, which is reset of mimetic, and of pneumatic repetitor, not mimetic. I'm so used to have mimetic over here, actually. So an output C is gonna go into the top of the Legio Versio, or maybe we can use again a small black one. Yeah, it's enough. It's beautiful. So it's gonna clock the Legio. And I think that's pretty much it for the patch right now. So if I start the clock and put a trigger here, yeah, we have sound. We should send quite a few more triggers. I'm gonna basically send all of them, all 16, and maybe introduce a little bit of swing. Yeah, like that. And then track B is gonna be our reset track. I'm gonna put one trick to reset the pneumatic repetitor to beginning. And the third track is our clock to the Legio Versio. I'm gonna make it 3 steps and activate just 1 step. So it's gonna be polymetric clock into the Legio, which I really like. So on the Vert Ether Legio, I'm using the SAW-X algorithm. It has in total 3 different algorithms, and then the flavor and tongue doing different things depending on the algorithm. Some of them especially doing some stereo thing like phase shifting and stuff like that, which I'm not able to hear today because we're using it in mono, which is fine. But in SAW, it generates like a super SAW, and we can also apply some modulation, which is cool. We can use Mamamate as our kind of master filter before effects. And then inside of the effects, we can utilize the Lacrima. So this one is interesting. So I'm gonna put it like full wet. And so this knob defines which filter it is. So we have band pass, high pass, and low pass. This is resonance. This is saturation. Can do some good distortion. And also we can change where the saturation is happening in the chain, but I'm gonna keep it on the input. And then we have the filter frequency cutoff actually, which is cool. And then we also have this one. This one is bipolar and it controls the envelope follower. So basically if I go into the positive side, Lacrima extracts the envelope from the dynamics of the sound coming. So basically if we have sound decaying, the Lacrima is going to extract the decaying envelope from it and use it to drive the filter cutoff. So, and I think that's pretty cool. We can saturate it a little bit, like this. Here we can introduce some audio rate modulation, but I don't need it. Now going into the Legio. Here I'm gonna introduce some blend, and we're gonna hear some delay lines. I'm gonna switch it into the distortion to hear it more clearly. And we can, with this knob, we can control as a filter, basically, our delay lines filtering. Also, I introduced a little bit of an LFO, which is moving quite slowly to modulate the delay. And we can also spread them a little bit to add some kind of reverb feeling. Again, that can be used for performance as well. To go into the high pass, you know, stuff like that. Nice. I'm gonna keep it kind of darker. And here we have the Legio Versio. So this one is a stereo dynamics processor. So this is an encoder. We can tap it or, you know, rotate. So if I rotate to the left, it introduces distortion. And then if I click on it, it resets to nothing basically. And to the right, it adds saturation, which I like. And again, we can tap and reset. So I'm gonna add a little bit of saturation at the end. And then with this one, we can actually compress the signal. So if we go to the right, it compresses the signal. And we can also increase the ceiling, which is going to send more audio into the dynamic processor. So let's leave it at full compression and send some of it over there. Also, there is the tilt. Basically, if you switch it to the bottom, it's gonna cut the bass and react more to high frequencies. Or switch it off or do the opposite thing. So I can switch it off actually, we don't have that much bass anyways. And there is also noise gate control, which is not affecting that much the sound as of now. Maybe a bit more saturation. Let me listen to how it sounds with the kick drum. Touch too loud, I think. Nice. And now we can play with pneumatic. And twist the knobs a little bit to find the rhythm that we like. Nice. So the prime knob changes the sequence significantly because all the rest depend on it. And that's an interesting one because we have the prime rhythm over here and then 3 different product rhythms, right? So let me just remove the reverb. So we have the prime and then 3 product rhythms, which depends on the prime. And I patched these outputs in a way that the prime, the main sequence, is going to be triggering the most distorted signal. So basically, can I hear it now? Yes. So we have the clean one. Then we have distorted, more distorted, and even more distorted. So the prime one, the main rhythm, is triggering the most distorted one, and the third product, the last product, is triggering the less distorted, the most bassy one. And that's where we get this kind of interesting variation of harmonics actually in the sound. What if we go and make envelopes shorter, and then the third and the fourth one that are running on the product 2 and 3, we're gonna make longer a little bit. And also on the Lacrima I can introduce chorus. Yes. Nice. But now, before I get carried away, I wanted to quickly show you what I've done in the effects block over here on the Syntakt. So I sent an internal audio coming from this synthesizer into the Syntakt and enabled it into the analog effects block. So this is the only signal or the only audio that it's coming into the effects block. And then on the effects block itself, I created like a ducking effect. I think it's too severe actually. Ducking effect. And also the filter to filter out the lowest frequencies so that we do not compete with this baseline actually. So, and right now if I unmute it, the audio from the synthesizer, from the modular is going to go through that effects block. Let's listen to it. So we are in C minor actually. Nice. But wait. Again, this delay thing is kind of going crazy. When I created this patch, I was thinking for a moment how I'm going to change the pitch in this patch, because there is no modulation for pitch over here. And I came out with an interesting idea. So we have Syntakt, right? And over MIDI, it can send pitch values. So I'm going to go into, let me mute everything. And I'm going to go into track 12. And it's set to channel 11 into MIDI. So if you go into synthesizer, you can set it into MIDI. And it's set to channel 11. And that's pretty much it. And if you can see, when I click on 12, it triggers basically this trigger and gate. And also it sends the pitch over here. So if I'm going to patch the pitch output from this MIDI module into the vert ether. And then if we go into this sequence over here on 12th track, I'm going to make it 4 pages and put 4 trigs on each page. Actually, and over here, yet another one. And on the first page is going to be C5. Second page, I'm going to make it D sharp 5. Third one, G. So it's basically the minor chord, C minor, and then G sharp, and here A sharp. So, and I'm gonna lower the velocity for a moment. It doesn't really matter as of now, but for the next exercise it will. And to listen to what happens now. So basically, we are not triggering the envelopes with the digitact. However, on every trig, we're changing the pitch, which is then going to change the pitch of vert ether Legio. And let's listen to that. So it's always going up, kind of. Which is cool. But then the sound is not too dynamic, I think. That's where I would like to use velocity. So velocity I'm going to put into the flavor. Basically, again, these triggers on 12th track, they are not going to trigger the envelopes, but still they send the information. And as of now, velocity is set to 1, which is basically super close to 0. But we can go into the sequence on page 2, for example, and put velocity to something like, change it a little bit. And when the sequencer is gonna get here, it's gonna send a little bit more CV into the flavor, and we're gonna have a new flavor. Let's listen to that. We are staying on page 2. And yes, there was a different one. Again, change might be subtle or might be significant, actually. So let me put some of them into different values and listen to that. Nice. That's how you can get some additional modulation from that MIDI module, actually. Nice. Gonna make the envelopes a touch longer. Nice. Let's change the sequence. Let's add reverb. Or let's try to make it like over the break. I really like this distorted sound. Gonna make these two envelopes shorter. I muted the 12th track. Now we don't have the pitch change, neither we have the flavor change with velocities, right? Because the track is muted. But the thing is still playing, right? Bring the pitch back. But over the filter. Nice. Really like it. Anyways, I wanted to say something. Go check the Legios and the Versios as well. I think the platforms, it's an amazing way to have this flexibility in your case. When you ran out of the module or you're thinking to which module to put into your case, you have not only choice of one module, but inside of one module you have choice of several different. Like for example, the other day I was thinking on how to test this one, like how to test it to full extent, and I needed the stereo VCA. The Versio thing, the Versio platform, can easily turn into the Ampla Versio, which is a stereo VCA with a filter, with a chorus and stuff like that inside of it. Isn't that cool? It is. That's pretty much it for today. And I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you learned something new for yourself that you can apply to your own music production workflow, or at least got inspired to go and make music. That's what we do, right? If you're considering to support me, there is a Patreon link in the description down below. There are affiliate links in the description as well for all the gear that I feature in my videos. Also, like this video, subscribe to my channel to help to push this video to more audience, to have more views, and hopefully to help other people with their journeys in electronic music. And if you would like to check another video about this trio, Numeric Repetitor, Ponce Sinorum and Pura Ruina, you can check this video, or if you would like to learn a bit more about my studio, you can check this video. I appreciate you, and until the next time, have fun.